Heating and air conditioning condenser located mostly outside of the home, primarily residential use or uses, some commercial applications as well. One may wonder, have have attempted to open up the box outside where the wiring comes in and see a rat nest of wires and been looks like a massive confusion, and it may be a massive confusion, and it worse if you don't understand the logic. It's even worse because rewiring, cross wiring, etc. is not good. But there are many different applications. One has a gas furnace, one has a heat pump, so the applications are different. A heat pump may have a defrost board and the wiring according. The thermostat wire may come in. So and then a gas furnace is fairly straightforward as far as the condenser outside. The gas furnace, my opinion, is the thing I kind of favor. Is they sit kind of dormant throughout the winter months if it's a split unit, meaning the air handler's inside under the house in a closet or in the attic, and the condenser being outside, so it doesn't work itself year round. Whereas the heat pump works the air handler and the condenser year round. So, question when now there are 6 wires that are significant when one opens this box. So now if it's good to understand or familiarize. So it's not that complicated, but it is one of those issues. Now you have 2 major components out there, more than 2 perhaps, but in my opinion is 2. Namely the condenser fan motor and the compressor. And if neither one of those are working, it's not going to work. The system's not going to work at all because it will not push your refrigerant through your lines. The compressor, that's its function, to take low pressure vapor, I think, compress it to high pressure vapor. Then the condenser fan motor pulls air across the coils. Hence, once it pulls air across the coils, it cools the refrigerant off, and the refrigerant may change state. It may go from a vapor to a liquid state. So then, with those 2 components, one may ask, well, how many wires are involved in those 2 components? And generally speaking, there are 3 wires. So as one can see here, here's 1, here's 2, and if we can find the number 3 hiding here, number 3 here. So now, okay, so the condenser fan motor has 3 wires. The compressor has 3 wires. So just keep this number in the back, in storage. Okay, 3 for the condenser fan motor, 3 for the compressor, for a totality of 6. Now there are many more wires in there, which low voltage, etc., but 3 on the condenser fan motor, 3 on the compressor. So the compressor has a start, common, and run. Again, reiterate, start, common, and run windings. So hence 3 wires. The condenser fan motor may have a start, common, and run. So 3 for the condenser fan motor, 3 for the compressor. So now, so 2 of these wires have to pick up. One of these wires, in my opinion, is, and the HVAC experts can chime in, but 2 of these wires have to pick up 120 volts because both of the condenser fan motor and the compressor, generally speaking, work off of 240 volts. So you're going to need 120 on one leg, you're going to need 120 on another leg, and then you're going to need the help from the capacitor. So we have, okay, and the same pertains to the compressor. You're going to need 120, 120. What does you take 120, add another 120 to that? That comes out to be 240 volts. So plus or minus, it may not be exact science. So so we need to have 240 volts. So on the condenser fan motor, the brown wire will attach to the capacitor. So hence that leaves another wire and one more wire. So those two there will get you 120, 120 will get you 240. So one comes from the common, one comes from the run, and one goes to the start. Generally speaking, my opinion is the brown on the condenser fan motor goes to the start on the capacitor. So this leaves two wires that would go to the contactor. Each side of the contactor picking up 120 volts from each side. One would be common, and one would be run, I think. Don't quote me on that. But and here's a question to the HVAC experts out there. This is off on a tangent, but if these wires had been these wires, I know you can ohm them out and you can ohm them across each terminal, but if these particular wires are say bleached from the sun, etc., and you don't know which one's the common, can an HVAC expert chime in and say which wire would be the common? Now, generally speaking, we know in this particular case, this black is probably going to be the common. But say these wires were bleached out and they were, say, white looking and they all look the same, and we didn't know, does an HVAC expert, if he can add this to the comments, which way he would find the common, or he or she would find the common wire as pertains, say, for instance, i.e. the condenser fan motor. So again, we have 3 wires for the condenser fan motor. We have 3 wires for the compressor. Start, run, common on one fan. Start, run, common on compressor. And then we have 2 wires pick up 120 volts. 1 wire goes to the capacitor. Now, an ECM motor would be different than an old PCM motor, so that's a different configuration with the well, that would actually be pertaining to the blower motor. So just for X that out. Okay, so but basically outside in the condenser we have these. So anyway, 120, 120. And the brown goes to the capacitor, the fan terminal on the capacitor. These 2 pick up 120 apiece. Black should be common, so they need to be organized when connected to the capacitor. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.